I jumped into this going, no regrets. No regrets, because once you've made that decision and that commitment, you have to fully commit to your decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so absolutely no regrets. We are
Love it.
really happy.
Welcome back to Powered by People, where we explore the stories behind the entrepreneurs, leaders, and everyday difference makers who fuel our communities. Today, I'm sitting down with Dianne from Sweet and Savoury Pie Company. Yes, that pie shop that makes you drool every time you scroll past their Instagram. But Dianne's journey isn't just about flaky crusts and creative fillings. It's about leaving the corporate world to chase a dream, navigating the chaos of entrepreneurship with flexibility, faith, and a whole lot of butter. Whether you're a pie lover, a business dreamer, or both, this is one conversation you won't want to miss. Well, isn't this lovely to be able to catch up again? It's been a while.
It's been a while. I think it's been over a year.
Oh my goodness. Well, you probably have like lots of stories to share. But first of all, I'm curious, was today a work day for you?
Today was my home office day.
Okay, so tell me how a home office day is different from a at the store baking day. Like what kind of tasks do you do on a home office day?
Well, I don't have to get up as early. That's a plus.
Okay.
Yeah, my day just starts a little bit differently because I get to sleep in a little bit later. Usually get up, do a workout, have breakfast, make coffee, and then head up to the office, which is a little
Yes.
differently than a bake day where I'm up at 5,
5.
quickly
Okay.
eat, jump in the car, pick up Melanie, and
Mhm.
then we're off and start baking by just before 7.
Oh gosh. Okay, we'll get there. But while we're at the home office, so are you doing like admin tasks? Do you do your own like social media? Like what's a home office day include?
It's really all admin, and doing some marketing, some promotion, but office day is an admin day.
Hmm.
Doing invoicing, following up on outstanding matters, and
Yeah.
social media. We have a social media company that
Oh,
does all
awesome.
of that for us, which is
Hmm.
great because it's
Yeah.
actually the manager at the Uptown location, Melanie Canute.
Hmm.
She has a social media and website company. So she
Oh,
does all of our
excellent.
social media, which is great because
Yeah.
she's hands on and she's there all the time. So it
Oh,
really works
that's
out.
great.
Yeah, it works
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. You could get very like organic stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. Now, when it's a home office day, I'm just nosy because I work a lot from home, obviously. Do you ever do like throw in a load of laundry, do some dishes? Like, will you sneak in some home tasks or are you really diligent?
Always.
Okay.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. I walk the dogs. I play with
Okay.
the dogs. No, if I'm home, I try to, kind of do a few home things as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I can pop up and down. Our home office is upstairs, so I can kind of
Hmm.
go, zoom
Yes.
around the house.
Yes. Okay, good. No, that makes me feel better. I mean, I do the
Yeah.
same. And then there's sometimes though where I'm kind of, I don't know, feel behind on work things. I'm like, well, if you'd stop doing your laundry or if you'd stop, maybe
Yeah.
you could focus more on work stuff.
There's some days though I get up here about 9 because I try to look at it as if I was back in the office, like in an office
Yes.
setting. So I'm diligent. I try to be upstairs and on the computer by 9. And then
Hmm.
sometimes I'll be so into what I'm doing, or like I'll look at the clock and it'll be like it's 1:30. Like where did that time go? Think, okay, I'm gonna go down and get lunch, or
Yeah.
change the
Yeah.
laundry.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's good. I think that's sometimes I have to remind myself, listen, there's a lot of downside to being self-employed, right? There's a lot
Mhm.
of costs. So, if one of the perks is that you can kind of get some other things done, some other errands or tasks done, then that's one of the perks.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a nice trade-off. Okay, before we get to the baking stuff, because I have a lot of questions,
Okay.
curiosity around that. I love to kind of get to know your journey. So, kind of going back to when you were young, when you were a young girl, what were your interests? What did you like doing? What were you like as a young girl?
Okay, I grew up in a really small town. Well, not really small town, but a small town just northeast of Toronto by the name of
Hmm.
Port Perry, which
Okay,
is
heard of
right
it?
on the right
Hmm.
on the shores of Lake Skugog, so sort of the start of the Trent Severn system, and or part of the Trent Severn system. Um, I was very athletic, just
Hmm.
liked sports, um, liked school, not as much as I liked other things. Uh,
Hmm. Hmm.
was pretty social. That's actually where I met Henry. So we both grew up in
Oh,
the
okay.
same small
Uh-huh.
town. I actually worked part-time job in high school, worked for his family's bakery. Um,
Okay. All right. So we're
so
seeing some early signs. This is always interesting for me
yeah,
to see because I'm looking for like the thread, right?
yes,
From there to now. Okay.
yes. So Henry's side of the family, his parents immigrated in the early 60s from the Netherlands. He was a baker. His dad was a baker in the Netherlands, started a bakery again
Mm-hmm.
in Canada, in Port Perry.
Mm-hmm.
And then Henry is the youngest of all the kids and figured he'd never get a chance to own the actual family bakery because his oldest brother had bought it from his
Mm.
dad, and then the other brother bought it from the other brother.
Yeah.
So Henry, he said, that's it. We're not going to do the family business. He went to university for banking. I went to school for legal administration, so a law clerk, and
Mm.
worked,
Mm-hmm.
the majority of my career. And we were sort of in corporate Canada.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Did you say how old you were when you started working at that bakery?
15.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
so pretty young.
Yeah,
Henry
yeah.
actually apprenticed with his family as a baker.
Okay.
So that's where he got his actual, baking background. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So then you both kind of went into the corporate world for,
Hmm.
an extended period of time.
Yes.
Where are you living at this point?
We lived in Oshawa. I commuted into downtown Toronto. I
Okay.
worked right at Bay and Front for several years, probably about
Mm.
15 years of the first part of my career. Henry also worked in Toronto, so we were commuters back and forth. But because of his job with the bank, we were classified as corporate gypsies. We moved
Oh.
in the early part of his career. We moved every 2 years, so we've lived in different parts of Ontario. And finally, back early 2000s, we were out near Ottawa,
Mm-hmm.
and it was time for him to move on. And I said, okay, that's it. One more move. Our kids are getting older and they need to
Mm.
establish roots.
Mm-hmm.
And we picked Waterloo because we have family here,
Oh, okay.
which was
Okay.
great. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
my older brother and his wife actually lived in Waterloo and their kids. So we thought that's perfect. We'll
Mm.
have
Near
family
family.
around,
Yeah.
and we'll set down
Mm-hmm.
roots. Yeah.
How many children?
We have two.
Two?
Yes. Yeah.
Boy, girl.
Boy, girl.
Boy, girl, one of each. And
One
who's
of each.
older?
The boy.
The boy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. And
And
much
so,
older.
but they were not born in Waterloo. You had them already and then moved to Waterloo.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. They moved with us. We had them when we lived in Oshawa, actually.
Oh, okay. All
Hmm.
right. So let me go back before we go forward. So
Sure.
before you got a job working in a bakery, did you enjoy baking like at home? Were you into that sort of thing, cooking or baking? Any interest even younger than
I
15?
did. My
Mm-hmm.
mom was an amazing baker. And
What
even
was her
my
specialty?
cakes, cookies, and
Okay.
pies. Believe
Mm.
it or not, my mom had a
Ah,
wicked pie crust, which
okay.
is really
Yes,
funny.
yes.
And I
Hmm.
actually have my grandma's rolling pin, which is a real
Oh,
antique now because it's glass. It's a glass rolling pin with the wood
yeah,
handles.
yeah.
So yes, yeah, definitely formed an
Okay.
interest way back as a child.
Yeah, yeah. Because I remember I really enjoyed it as a kid. And I don't know how old I was when my mom would start letting me very basic, like a dump cake,
Yep.
like a chocolate dump cake for like even when we were going to have company, right? I could bake the cake for their dessert or something like that. And I really enjoyed that. I used to also, when I was younger, have fun with like the mixers that you did like this,
Yeah. I
and
re-
it was like fun.
I remember those. That was
Yeah, it was such a
Yeah.
treat. So I have always enjoyed, I'll say, like, simple baking.
Right.
There like, not into the level of like pastry fancy. I'd start to be like, but like, muffins, cookies, cakes, all that kind of stuff. I've always and still enjoy it.
Which is great.
Yeah. Hmm.
I
Yeah.
don't bake as much at home anymore because even if I do extra baking, I'll just stay at the bakery and do it. But
Yeah.
and the kids are gone. So if I had somebody to bake for, Matt, and Henry always says, like, if you bake at home, I'm just going to eat it. So
I know this is why I don't bake more, because I cannot resist baking.
yeah,
Like, I can't.
and I can't
If
resist eating it.
That's what I mean. Like, if it's there, then I'm going to eat it. And if there's cookies sitting there, I'm going to have one every time I pass.
100%.
If there's a cake, I've done it. Like, I do a sliver,
Yeah,
and then you walk away, whatever, you pass it later. There's another, like, who knows? Maybe I've had like this much, cake by the end of the day. I can't resist.
I
So
know, because it's just a tiny piece,
I know,
right? It's just a tiny piece.
yeah, yeah. So I get it for sure. Okay, so we see some of these early signs you do have an interest. So it's not a total surprise for where you end up.
No.
So you move to Waterloo.
Yes.
Are you both still in corporate work at this time?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Worked. Trying to think. I'm trying to remember back. We moved to Waterloo in 2002, and we opened the first bakery, the first Sweet and Savoury on Bridge Street, Bridge and Dansbury.
Okay, Bridge was the first one.
2014.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we were in town for about 12 years before we opened up.
Okay.
But it was, the idea was on the back burner for a long time.
Okay. Like, how long?
Oh, I don't know, probably forever. Like, probably we always would say, oh, wouldn't it be great if we opened up our own business? Wouldn't it be great if we opened up our own business? And, life gets busy.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, our kids were both finished high school. Our son was actually at U of T.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Alicia was just finishing high school, and we said, if we don't do it now, we're never going to do it. So let's just take the leap of faith and try. And because of Henry's background in business, he took a year and did our business plan.
Okay. All right. So it was a big leap, but it was a well-planned leap.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Fully thought out business plan. We did a lot of research. So we knew we wanted to do it, and then it took a couple of years to really jump in and go, okay,
yeah,
this is what we're going to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you know from the beginning that it was going to be pies, that would be the focus?
We did, because of our background in baking, and Henry, working with his dad and his two brothers, did not want to do the yeast, like breads and buns and that sort of thing, because he didn't want to be up at midnight and baking at 2:00 in the morning and having to put those hours in for a bakery that kind of handles different.
Yes.
He still baked even when he was in banking. So one of the incentives for a lot of the colleagues that he worked for was he'd run promotions where he'd bake for people. And even before we opened the bakery, there was one Christmas we put out orders to all of his branches that he worked with, and all of the staff that I worked with at the law firm, and we took orders for pies, and it was crazy busy. We kind of developed a menu. Wow. So we kind of did a soft, let's see if this could actually fly, because we thought, pie shops in the UK or in Australia or New Zealand are so popular. And we thought, why not give it a try here and see how it goes? So that's kind of where the idea set in. In the works for quite a few years before we took the leap.
So I imagine a lot of people listening, watching, could relate to having, I call it like like a passion, a side passion project, passion work.
Right.
And often don't maybe take the leap, or some might, but it isn't successful.
Right.
So what kind of tips or advice could you share? What do you think would be helpful to people that are maybe still in the corporate job, which would be very, very common, but maybe they do have a different type of skill or passion or something they've always thought or had that dream sitting in the back of their mind for a long time, and they haven't yet taken the leap? What would you say to them?
Plan it out. Absolutely have a plan. A business plan is, I would say, essential just to get your foundation. One, have the courage to do it. It definitely is a leap of faith.
Yeah.
And it's scary. It is absolutely scary because you're completely stepping out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And depending on how old you are, like we were in our mid 40s. So it was,
I love that. Good for you guys. It was
like, oh my gosh, it was a total risk. But we thought, and we've never been risk takers. Like we are probably the most, like we're pretty steady, steady as she goes people. But thought, you know what, if we don't do it, let's just do it. Like take the chance, because you'd never know if it's going to be successful or not. You know, you always start a venture. I'm sure even in your profession, Wendy, you know, start anybody with your own business, and your husband as well. It's scary, but if you don't ever take the chance, you'll never know. And what's the worst thing that's going to happen? It's going to fail, and nothing is a sure thing ever.
That's true.
Regardless of the time that you're in business, there's nothing that's a sure thing. But believe in yourself, I guess, too. Believe in your dream, believe in your goal, you know, have kind of an end game or know what you want. Right. Be flexible. And that's something that I've definitely had to learn. You know, I'm a very control central type A personality, and I have had to learn to kind of go with the flow. So
what does that look like in your work right now? Going with the flow or being flexible?
Just surviving in today's economy, for one. I think nothing is a sure thing. Being flexible and not being, you know, having expectations, but not having crazy expectations. I think going with the flow in that, oh my gosh, how can I explain this? I think there's challenges with everything, and just the challenge of every day right now is something to overcome for sure. Yeah. I don't know if I'm probably not explaining myself very well at all, because there's just so many things going, you know, happening right now, that we're just trying to, you know, get through every day, and still trying to be relevant, coming up with new flavors, still keeping the quality of the product that we're giving, and constantly improving.
So I'm hearing you say kind of accepting kind of what is the things outside of your control.
Absolutely.
And then focusing on the things within your control, which is hard when you're a control person. You'd like to control all of it.
Exactly right. So that's where I've had to really adapt and change and learn from, for sure.
That is really, really tough. Oh my gosh. So I can imagine there's people that are like, okay, maybe I should do this. So were there times, like, have you ever looked back? Have you ever regretted the decision, or has it gotten really scary at any point for you?
We jumped into this going, no regrets.
Okay.
No regrets, because once you've made that decision and that commitment, you have to fully commit to your decisions. So absolutely no regrets. We are really happy. We've had, you know, the opportunity that we've had. the Waterloo community, and I keep saying this in other interviews that I've done, like the support that we've had from the community, fantastic. It's just we try to put out, well, we do. I know we put out an excellent quality product.
I'll agree with that. I'll second that.
We certainly haven't scrimped or cut corners in any way, even with
Mm-hmm.
the costs.
Mm-hmm.
We may not put out some of the more expensive flavors all the time. One, it costs, at the end of the day, it's going to cost the consumer more. Regrets, absolutely not. So if there was somebody looking at, trying to do something, I think anybody that tries something new are winners for just taking the chance and trying it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did you guys have a backup plan? Like, okay, so we're going, no regrets. We're going to jump in. We're going to give this a go. However, if this doesn't pan out, we've got a
I
backup plan.
Well, I think our backup plan would just be going back to our careers. Our careers outside of what we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Owning your own business is definitely risky, but it's also super rewarding. Um, just the whole aspect of it, and
Yeah.
and stressful,
Yeah. Yeah.
and extremely stressful.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. Probably on a number of levels. So this
yeah,
is year 11 for you guys.
it is. Yes,
Okay. You celebrated year 10.
we celebrated
Yes.
our 10 in
Yeah.
2024. So
Mm-hmm.
we're officially past the 11-year mark, and now we're working into
Mm,
our 12.
amazing. That's
Yeah,
totally amazing.
yeah,
So, I know when I was first introduced to you, you had the Just Love Pie and Sweet and Savory Pie Company.
right.
Have you kind of gone to the one name now? Just
We
Sweet and Savory?
have. So
Okay.
it's sweet and savory. We
Mm-hmm.
had Just Love Pie is our handle. So it's our website, it's our email. Um, just because it's a little bit shorter than Sweet and Savory Pie Company.
Yeah.
We operated the one business as Just Love Pie because it was a little different. It was the cafe component when we were in the atrium where people
Ah,
could come
okay.
in, sit down, have a meal, which I loved. I loved that
Mm-hmm.
space. It was just
Mm-hmm.
a
It was
really
so
great
cute.
vibe.
Mm-hmm.
It was just,
Mm-hmm.
it was wonderful. But then when the building was sold
Mm-hmm.
and everybody in the atrium was asked to leave, um, we had to find another location. So that's where we said, if we're just going to be a takeout bakery, then we
Mm-hmm.
have to fall under
Yeah.
the same
Okay.
corporate name.
That
Yeah.
that makes that makes perfect sense.
Yes.
So for people who haven't been introduced to your great bakeries yet, so the name kind of gives it away that
Right.
you're not just the sweet pies, but
Right.
you're sweet and savory pies.
Right.
But take a couple minutes to talk about like all the different kind of varieties of pies and tarts that you make. Like
Oh my
make me
gosh.
drool. Make me drool right now. This is a bad time for us to do this because you're going to get me hungry.
Yeah, because it's almost dinner time.
I
Well,
know.
we're very excited because this morning, part of my office duties, I actually went out to a local farm just outside on Pine Hill Road, just outside of
Ah,
Baden, New Hamburg,
yeah.
is Pine Hill
Hmm.
Farms,
Okay.
and we picked up our first flats of strawberries.
Ooh, okay.
So
So they'll be coming very soon.
tomorrow, yeah, yeah. So
Ooh,
fresh strawberry pies. So
ooh,
excited! They're actually
mm,
a little bit earlier than we thought because of the weather.
uh-huh. Yeah.
Um, Really, flavors of savory or sweet pies is
Hmm.
endless. It really
Uh-huh.
depends on how creative you want to be.
Yes.
And we love to open it up to the staff because all the staff can contribute and suggest flavors. And
Hmm.
one of the fun things on social media we've done in the past is put it out to our customers like,
Hmm.
hey, what flavor of pie would you like to try? And we did this a lot during COVID
Yeah.
because it gave us an opportunity to sort of bake things and try
Hmm.
them out
Hmm.
on a different at a different time than just having the bakeries open for takeout. So really endless, like
Yeah.
endless. And we're trying
Yeah.
to come out all the time with different flavors.
Yeah.
So
So just
it's
name a few savory ones that people might not have thought of before, and maybe a couple of your different sweet ones.
okay. So just even last week, we had out our Aloha pork, which is one that we bring out more seasonally, more in summer, which is
I
an
have not had
amazing,
it.
super good red
Hmm.
Thai curry beef. In the summertime, we do our smoked pulled pork because we smoke our own meat. What are some other good Oh
See,
my
I
gosh,
knew
there's
this was
so many.
dangerous. I'm regretting the question. I'm sitting here going, "Oh my God, I'm visualizing it. I'm probably going to start drooling in a minute."
um, bacon mac and cheese is another great one that we do. But then you've got the traditionals like chicken pot and steak and mushroom and steak and
Mm,
Guinness. And just, we have one named Hank's beef, which is just a ground beef pie. And it's named after Henry's dad because it was
mm,
his dad's recipe of a meat pie
okay.
that he did at his bakery in Port Perry.
Wow.
Um, sweet pies, well, you can do, well, our pastry cream pies are great because the homemade pastry cream, super good. The seasonal fruits, like I said, strawberry,
Strawberry. Can't
can't
go
beat
wrong.
that.
Hmm.
Fresh Ontario peach will be next. So strawberry kind of rolls into peach, and then
Mm.
then we're into pumpkin and apple.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're so fortunate here to have Martin's Farms
Hmm.
right at our doorstep because all of our apples come from
Oh,
Martin's,
amazing. Oh, that's
which is
great.
great.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, the and endless. And then we get customers calling in saying, would you try to make this? This was a family favorite of ours, and we'll be
Mm.
absolutely,
Hmm.
if it's within our means, we can absolutely try it. It may not be exactly like your grandmother made, but we'll do our very, very best.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Now you've also done, if people follow you on social media, which I recommend, actually, you have a kind of a fun social media. You'll sometimes put something like a tart, but you've got like you're baking something inside. It would be the baking version of a turducken. Is that what you turducken? So do you know what I'm talking about? Where they cook something inside of something else, inside of something else.
Oh, right. Our
Do you know what?
our butter tart cupcake.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, which is inside which? Is the butter tart inside the cupcake or the cupcake inside the butter tart?
The butter tart is inside the cupcake.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. So that's
Oh,
that's actually a really fun tart that we do.
yeah. And sometimes something like Oreo or like you do some really interesting fun things. Sometimes I'm looking and I'll see pictures online and I mean, I was going to say I'm kind of upset that you're on the other side of town, that you're not closer, but I'm beginning to wonder maybe it's good that you're not too close to me.
I I do deliveries on Tuesdays, Wendy,
Oh
so I
my
could deliver anytime.
goodness. Well, I know. Okay, I'm writing that down. Delivers Tuesdays.
And we do
Yeah.
sell our pie pastry. So you can
Mm,
come in and buy the
mm-hmm.
pastry,
Mm-hmm. But why not have it all done for you?
right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what's one of your favorites of each? What's one of your favorite savory? What's one of your favorite sweet?
I love our chicken mushroom lake. That's probably one of my favorite savory pies. My favorite sweet pie. I love our strawberry rhubarb crumble. It's probably my all-time favorite pie. I just love it. It has a shortbread cookie crumble on the top. And I don't know,
Gosh.
fresh
Mm-hmm.
rhubarb and strawberry just marry so well together. And then with the crumble on the top, I just love it.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
that would probably be my favorite.
Yeah, yeah. Now, so you've been doing this like we talked about. You're actually going into year 12, you said. Um, but it's early hours. It's a lot of work. You put in a lot of sweat equity. So
Mhm,
you have your home office stuff, you're actually baking.
mhm.
Do you have plans in the future to pull back personally, hire more things out, or are you still loving the actual work?
I think eventually I'll step back. Like maybe this summer, I actually said to Henry, maybe I'll take a couple of days off a week and we're both so fortunate with our staff. Like our staff are just wonderful. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that in itself, maybe take a little time.
Mm-hmm.
It's our baby. So
Uh-huh.
we do like to be there and we just have fun being there. one of the things I love doing are the wedding pies or the
Mm,
specialty pies. It's just kind of my way to be artistic with doing the pastry flowers
yeah.
and the leaves and all the extra detail. And I just love that. So I love taking time to do a little more of the creative side of the
Mm-hmm.
baking.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so no, there's no plans to um, totally step back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like to be involved.
Sure. No, that's
Yeah,
great.
yeah,
Yeah. And what about vacations? Like if you guys wanted to go to Europe for a couple weeks or something like that, is that doable
yeah.
for you?
In fact, we actually just came
Mm.
back from Europe.
Ah,
Our
okay.
son lives. Our son lives in the UK, so
Okay.
we went to visit him for a couple of weeks, end of March,
Mm-hmm.
early April.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's where after the years that we've been in business, and we're so fortunate to have staff that has been with us a
Mm-hmm.
long time. Um, we feel so confident to just be able to take the vacation
Mm-hmm.
and know that everything's being looked after and not worry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
When did you open the second location and what was the like decision making around that? Because sometimes people just want to grow and expand and whatever, and if the timing isn't right, and it can end up backfiring, right?
Okay,
So
so
how
the
did you make that decision?
it was pretty easy because that's the atrium building came available, and it was a pie shop. So it was owned by a British gentleman
Mm-hmm.
initially, and the company was called the Savory. So he did a lot of meat pies there as well. That
Mm-hmm.
space became available, and
Mm-hmm.
we had always talked about, well, had talked about to that point, wouldn't it be neat to do a restaurant where people could come sit down and eat the pies, or even like a cafe or an
Mm-hmm.
eat-in bakery style.
Yep.
That's where that came up. And when that space became available, it was the perfect location to do that. Again, sort of going, okay, it's available. The timing's good.
Mm-hmm.
The first bakery had been open for 2 years. Um, so we kind of jumped right into that one as well.
Mm-hmm.
So the second location will be open in Uptown. It'll be what year was that open? In 16 we opened that. So that will be 9 years. We've been open Uptown, but of course
Mm-hmm.
I've been at the new location. It was just 3. Um, yeah, it was very sad when I had to leave the atrium.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure, for
yeah,
sure.
I
And
think
so
about
it
it
was
every day.
a natural move though, like so once you had the second location, there was never a thought with that closing of going back to just the one. You knew you wanted to just keep another, like a second location, and just find another spot for it.
Right, right. And at that time, because we were still in COVID, um, there wasn't anything available in the Uptown area that had the ability for seating. Certainly nothing that
Yeah.
was in our price range.
Yeah.
The cost of rents and leasing everywhere was soaring. Um, Henry had to leave. The lease, how it worked out with the way that the leases sort of ended on at both spots at the same time. Henry was looking for a new spot um, for our Bridge Street location because that lease was up and he had outgrown the space. It was our first space was tiny. We wanted to just kind of get our feet in, get our feet
Yeah.
wet, to see how things were going.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Looking back now, we probably didn't need to open another location in
Mm-hmm.
Waterloo. We probably should have opened in
In
maybe
Baden.
in Baden or New Hamburg, um, maybe in Kitchener, maybe
Mm-hmm.
in Guelph. It didn't have to, be in Waterloo. So,
Sure.
you always look back and go, oh yeah, maybe we should have done things a little bit differently.
Okay.
But
But they've both still done well. I mean,
yes,
people have followed you, your clientele have been
yes,
faithful and loyal as you, because you've moved both of your locations to new
yes,
locations.
at the very same time. Like that was a little stressful during
That'd
COVID.
be so stressful.
At the same
Yeah.
time, we
Yeah.
opened up each new location on the very
Hmm.
same day.
That's crazy. Okay, so that brings me to then, what are your approaches, strategies for handling stress? How do you handle stressful situations like that? What do you do?
So my go-to stress reliever is working out. I have a little gym set up in my basement. I take an hour a day, whether it be stretching or, weights or cardio. That is my hour that I just decompress.
Yeah.
And we have 3 dogs, which I call them my therapy dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Because just to be with the dogs and out for a walk, and like you, we live in Baden, so there's lots of trails and everything we can go on. So it's just about getting out with them too. That's my stress reliever for sure. Yeah.
Exercise, fresh air, walking.
Yes.
So that's great that you've got healthy things, because a lot of people, obviously, we know, turn to unhealthy things in times of stress.
Yes.
So now, you're not working in a bakery. You're not tempted to have sugar for stress relief. Are you an emotional eater?
I am not.
Okay, which is great. That's so good, because that would be tough if you were in that business and you were an emotional eater. Yeah.
Henry is. I am not.
Okay. How does he manage that?
Very tough. Like he regulates. It's raisin. His coping mechanism is raisin butter tarts. So he always just says it's quality control.
Somebody's got to try stuff, right? Make sure it's okay.
Once a week, I'll treat myself for sure. But no, I'm not an emotional eater, which is very helpful for me.
Yeah.
Very helpful.
No, it is. It is.
I'm more savory.
So tempting.
Like I do eat a quiche almost every day. One of we will share a quiche, and that will be lunch. I love my quiche. Love chicken pot pie. So it's
totally.
So I definitely do eat. It's all quality control, Wendy. It's mandatory for the job. Yes,
absolutely. Have you guys ever been tempted, or is it still on the radar for someday, maybe down the road, to have a spot with Eat In, to do that again, an eat-in location?
Probably not again. Right now there's no plans to open up another one. Henry and I are actually more looking now at what retirement will look like for us. What we'll be doing. The business actually is up for sale. So that's I don't know if you knew that.
I did not know that.
It is.
So what would that look like? Would you continue to work for a while, or not necessarily? Depends.
Possibly. It totally depends. We thought we would put it up for sale just to see what happens, knowing that it's going to be a while. Businesses don't sell always very quickly. Sure. And like I said, it is our baby. So we'll see. But we do have to think of retirement at some point in time. Yeah.
And what do you want that to look like, retirement?
I have no idea. No idea at this point in time. Not to, I don't know. We have some things that we're kind of thinking about, but not anything concrete. We'll see, we'll see what happens with the business. Right now, we both love it and we're really enjoying it. And we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Look at you being flexible and just kind of going with the flow.
Trying.
Trying. And do you suspect that the next phase you will do together? So if it's like one of you wouldn't stay working with the business and the other one retire, like you would both do it. Like you both started this business and you very likely will both exit the business at the same time.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Have your children had any interest? Have they had any involvement in the business or any interest in the business?
Both kids have worked in the business over time. Both Alicia was finishing high school. Grant was in second year university. So they both took their turns of working in the summer at the bakeries. Grant actually, after his undergrad, before he started his master's, took a bit of time and worked full time with his dad, which was great. And he still loves baking and cooking. So he'll quite often, ring us up and say, hey, could you send me the recipe for this pie? I'm going to a party and, I want to treat my friends. Because he lives in the UK, he always hosts Canadian Thanksgiving. And he'll bake pumpkin and apple pie every year. And no, they've both gone in different directions with their careers. And we never expected them to want to take over the business. Yeah.
So, I mean, sometimes kids do, and sometimes they don't. They have different interests. So
Absolutely. Right. And I think because Henry and I started it so late, the kids weren't brought up with us owning the business.
Right.
So it's not something that they were exposed to as young kids on a day-to-day basis.
I have a random question, and then I want to ask you one other entrepreneurial thing. Have you ever done a poutine pie?
You know what? During COVID, we did. And that was one of the pies that one of our followers had suggested. And we did a poutine pie.
I wondered, because I'm kind of picturing French fries and pie, and why not, right?
Well, we kind of did it more with a sliced potato, but we used the real cheese curds and gravy. It was good. It was really rich.
I bet. Yeah.
But we did, and it was really fun. Yeah, it was actually really fun.
I bet. Do that again. You can just take anything and just put it in a pie crust. So I mean, it makes sense, even though we don't often think of that, right?
Yeah, actually, Melanie brought that up not that long ago about a poutine pie. So it's still kind of on the radar. We could do it and try it out. May have to put that back out to the customers and see what they say. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you where my brain went. So you talked about Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And then what made me think of poutine is one year for Thanksgiving. So my son was working at a camp, and he was doing like the food. He was taking care of the food. And he came out with a feature of doing like a Thanksgiving dinner poutine. So like turkey, gravy, cranberries, stuffing on French fries, right? I had it and I loved it. Like, I love it even with the cranberries, like all the things. So a full turkey dinner.
I love it as a poutine.
As a poutine, amazing. So I said to him, I want you to cook that for us for Christmas dinner. So one Christmas, I guess was it 3 years ago now? 3 years ago now, we had like our Christmas dinner, like our official family Christmas dinner was poutine.
I love
a Christmas turkey poutine.
It's great. And it's so funny that you brought that up, because I remember one of the restaurants, when Grant was in Toronto, we'd pick him up and we go for brunch at a little restaurant called Over Easy on Bloor Street. Okay. And they did a breakfast poutine, which, with the eggs and the hollandaise and gravy and cheese and that. Yeah, you could do anything. Well, the poutineery pretty much does anything can be poutine. So actually, I'm going to talk to Henry and Melanie about that.
Yeah. Well, so it made me think of it, and then I thought, I wonder if they've ever done that. So,
yeah. We'll chime in with all the staff and see what they have to say.
Yeah, exactly. I know you gotta let me know.
Yeah, I will for sure.
Okay, before we slip into some rapid fire questions, I call them rapid fire, but they're just different. They're random questions.
That scares me.
No, don't be scared. Don't be scared. I just want to give an opportunity, if you have any other things that, maybe entrepreneurs or wannabe entrepreneurs are watching or listening, just any tidbits or advice or things that you would say to them about going out and starting a business.
Take the chance. One of the things we said before we started, or when it was, a brainchild before it came to fruition, is, do we want to look back and say, geez, I wish we gave it a shot. We should have tried that. Life is scary. If you've got an idea, take it to somebody. Like, take it to friends, take it to family. Shoot your idea, get feedback from people. Because friends and family will really never steer you wrong. Ask people's honest opinion. take it out to people on the street, take it out to strangers, talk to people at parties, and say, hey, I'm thinking of this idea. What do you think
Yeah.
do you think it would fly?
Yeah.
I don't know. Took the chance and have no regrets. Um, yeah, I just say, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you just have to trust your own intuition.
Mm-hmm.
It is scary as hell.
Yeah.
No question
Yeah.
about it. Have we had sleepless nights? A lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Owning your own business can be great. It can be terrifying. But at the end of the day, I can honestly say I am so glad that we tried.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? Because
And do you think that if it didn't work out the way that you thought and you did go back to your corporate job, do you think your advice would be the same? Do you think you would still tell people go for it, try it?
I think so, because
Mm-hmm.
the business still could. These are awful, 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 crazy, weird times right now,
Mm-hmm.
and there's small businesses closing all around every day.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing's ever a guarantee. Um, you just, I'm very thankful and very grateful for how long we've been in business and for what we've created. But that's not to say that things could turn around. Um,
Sure.
and I think that, no, I would, like I said, no regrets. I think my advice would still
Mm-hmm.
be the same. You never know. You look at all those small startup businesses that go from like nothing to these huge companies.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Sometimes people have ideas.
Yes.
That's how we have progression. That's how the world
Yes.
progresses.
I know.
You have to take an idea and
Yeah.
take the chance.
Yeah.
I truly support anyone that
Mm-hmm.
is going to try for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Yeah. When you said that, you reminded me of, I've listened to I don't remember his name, one of the founders of Airbnb
Right?
on a podcast interview. And the story about starting that, it was literally, they rented out like a room with air mattresses. They rented
Yeah,
out air mattresses because there was people that there was some event going on and they needed a place to stay. That's how it started. And I also have heard like really well-known investors that said no to Airbnb because they thought the idea was stupid and nobody would stay in someone else's like home or place, right? And of course now they recognize their mistake. But
yeah,
to your point,
yeah.
like it started as a weird idea, right? And some investors thought it was dumb. And the guy's a multi-billionaire.
Absolutely. I've stayed in
So,
lots of Airbnbs.
oh, I love Airbnb. I
Me too.
love it. I love it. But
Yeah.
I can see how, I mean, when the idea is new, it's so different. I can see how you might go, I don't know. I don't know if people, at large are gonna do that. So
Well,
yeah.
we even had, people that we talked to before we opened up, because it is a process. And I think if you're going to open a business, you do have to do your research. You do have to take some time and and do some investigative work, do your research.
Yeah.
And, there were some people that we said, yeah, we're tossing around the idea of opening a pie shop. And we had a few people that went, pie shop?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think that's going to go?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, Henry and I said, what's the worst that's going to happen?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not going to go. And that's okay.
You're gonna eat lots of pie for a while.
That's
that's
right.
The worst.
And even now, it's like, who knows what the future holds? But I will never look back and go, darn, we shouldn't have done that, because I just think it has been such a great experience. Personally, we've met so many wonderful people, whether it be through our employees, customers, providers, other colleagues. We do a lot of butter tart festivals. We've met so many wonderful bakers, people in our industry, even locally. The way small business can support small business, I think, is so important. We're a big enough community for there to be several bakeries. And I think everybody's product is different enough that we can actually complement one another. I think it's so important, especially in today's day and age and times that we're living in, to be supportive and not be, well, it's always good to have competition because competition keeps you growing and innovative. But I think at the same time, truly be supportive to local small business because, man, we're still the brick and mortar.
Yeah.
And, we're not the big corporations. And
Yeah.
communities need brick and mortar.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just, yeah.
I agree. No, that's great. I love your encouragement for other people to try things. And yeah, the no regrets. You're going to learn. There may be failures along the way, but
Absolutely.
learn from them and fail forward.
I don't think you ever stop learning.
No, I don't either. No. I think it's important to keep learning.
I absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Are you ready for some random questions? We'll call them. We'll just call them random.
Okay.
They're about you. You'll be able to answer them. Okay. If you weren't in your current career,
right,
what's a different path? And let's not pick corporate. Let's pick something different. Different path you'd love to try.
Oh, I should have been a travel agent.
Oh, okay.
I love looking up trips. I look up trips for a lot of friends, a lot of family. I love that. I should have been a travel agent.
Okay. See, that was easy.
That was easy.
Easy one for you. Okay. What's one of the best compliments a client or employee has given you?
I actually just had a customer say something last week and I can't even remember. And now you've put me on the spot.
And then your mind goes blank. Yeah.
But I said, I remember my response was, that is the nicest thing that a customer has ever said. And I just...
Well, maybe it'll come to you.
Maybe it'll come to me.
Yeah, you remember the impact of it. You can't think of the words, but you're remembering the impact of it. And it was recent. That's wonderful.
It was definitely recent. And I just thought, wow, that was,
Sometimes something just comes and it just lands and it's beautiful. You kind of already, well, no, this is what you did to relieve stress. So this could be different. What's your guilty pleasure when you need a break from work? So not your stress reliever, but maybe more of a guilty pleasure.
Are we talking food or otherwise?
Let's go other. What's something you might do? How would you like to waste time?
Okay, I watch it's great. I call them chateau shows on YouTube, but I watch there's been Canadians, there's been a lot of Brits that buy chateaus in France and renovate them. So if I were going to waste a few hours,
you would watch a bunch of those.
I do, and it's total escapism for me because it would be something that I would love to do if I had the opportunity.
Yes,
maybe not to the scale of some of the size of the chateaus. Like, we're handy, but we're not that handy.
Sure.
But it's fun to watch other people.
But if you could make it out of pie crust, then you'd have something.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay. And for your last question.
Okay.
Which pie most resembles you and why? I'd have to go with the strawberry rhubarb for sure. And why?
And possibly the apple. Because they're hearty pies. And I'm a very hearty, stubborn person. I'm very headstrong. And I think that they both stand up to that. The rhubarb and the strawberry, because there's some tart and there's sweet,
Okay.
all rolled in together.
Yes. Yep.
So that would probably.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that answer, but I'm also going to point out they're also very popular and they're very classic.
Oh, well,
So
I didn't even think
you can take that on as well. Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
well, thank you. See, I would take that as a compliment.
I mean that as a compliment. So I hope so. I hope so. Yeah.
So thank you, Wendy.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, oh my goodness, this has been amazing. Look at how the time flies.
I know what time.
It is. Yeah. We've been close to an hour and it felt like 10 minutes.